As the Delta variant spreads, some health experts are suggesting that we need to start rethinking our behavior. John Dickerson is hosting Face the Nation this weekend and joins us tonight from New York City. John, I know on Sunday you're going to be talking with a couple of experts about this idea of returning to mask wearing, even for people who are vaccinated.
Well, and it's going to make everybody think, wait a minute, weren't we promised that once we all got vaccinated, we'd be headed toward the exits on this pandemic? Well, there are two issues. You've got the part of the country where vaccination is low, and the main message there is get vaccinated. And the deaths in those hot spots are starting perhaps to change some minds of some people who are reluctant. In those areas, there's actually a case to be made for not talking about masks as a public health measure because you don't want it to get in the way of the message, which is get those vaccinations. In the Northeast or areas where there are more vaccinations, the reason they're talking about mask mandates is the Delta variant is so transmissible that it can, in some small cases, break through with people. Now, if you've been vaccinated, it can break through, but you won't get as sick as you would have before. And the number of cases of anybody getting hospitalized is quite small. Nevertheless, it is so easy to transmit that officials are now talking about reinstating the mask mandate, in part also because you don't know who's vaccinated and who isn't, and because you still also have that portion of the population under 12 years old who are not yet able to get vaccinated.
Yeah, this is a debate that's just playing out all over the country. John, also this weekend, I know you're going to be talking about the infrastructure plan. There was an important vote that failed earlier this week, but is it your sense that we should still be optimistic that Congress will ultimately pass an infrastructure bill?
Well, on these kind of things, it's difficult to stir the optimism because we've been disappointed before. But there is a reason for optimism in this case, which is that even though there's been some back and forth and some kind of posturing, it seems that the initial thrust for the legislation, which is a sufficient number of Democrats and Republicans to clear the 60-vote threshold that you need to clear a filibuster in the Senate, that initial passion is still there. They may have some details to work out, and those are not small because things can fall apart on the details. But the motivation to get it done is still there. And so it seems like even though that vote didn't pass this week, there's still some momentum for it. Then the problem is, how does that work with the other strategy the Democrats have, which is to pass a very big spending bill on a party line vote? That's going to cause some issues between the infrastructure bill and that one. But that's down the road. Now they just need to be able to get it through the Senate. And next week will be key to see if in fact, optimism is warranted.
A lot to talk about this weekend. John Dickerson, thanks for being with us tonight.